I'm still admonishing this person in Twitch chat. Hello everybody. Welcome to Team Fortress TV. We have a rare occurrence for you today. It's a high match, but not quite at the very top of high. This one is a battle for the playoff spots. It's going to be 1,000 poops of the poopocalypse, which you have seen before on Team Fortress TV, but a new team for you tonight. They are facing off against the Dankest Nugs, a team featuring such players as Drackk. Tom, you might have heard of some of these. Ash, of course, the head admin for ETF2L, who was kind enough to donate enough to the ETF2L fundraiser for us to cast this event. Not that we're little sellout bitches, though, CommanderX.
Intros like that is why you're not an official caster yet. You just got to bounce back off that criticism side, so you can't dwell.
No, I can't dwell on it. Let's move on. So we have a week 7 game for you today from season 20, powered by TT Esports. It's Koth Viaduct Pro 5 and CP Badlands. There's also a little bit of drama surrounding these teams, CommanderX.
Yeah, you've only told me about it once, very briefly, so I'll let you talk us through it once again.
So Ash. Well, first of all, the team 1,000 poops of the poopocalypse. There's the team's a bit of a tongue twister in and of itself, but
I'm sure we won't get that wrong tonight. So that'll be fine.
I'm sure we'll pronounce that perfectly every time we have to. They kicked their normal demo man, which was Kuna, who's previously played for some really high French teams. I can't remember exactly what. Played around top Div 1 for quite a while, which is around the same level as these guys are playing tonight. And he has been kicked from the team because I think it was just basically because Hat and Buttnose and Ondkaja didn't really like the way that he played. Thought, quote unquote, he was a bit retarded. So they
small brain.
Yeah, small brain indeed. So they have booted him from the team, and they're using a merc tonight in the form of Smiri, who we have previously seen in Saints, who were. Did they play Prem? Smira has played Prem,
yes,
hasn't
they did. He played it with Saints, and he's also played it with Cool Clan.
Yeah, okay. So he does have that Premiership experience, which possibly was why Ash from the team Dankest Nugs really didn't want him to play for them tonight, tried to deny him, and it led to a bit of drama between the teams. Ash was trying to bribe Ondkaja. Ondkaja was trying to bribe Ash. Ondkaja threatened to leave the AC team unless Smira was allowed. Ash was saying that he would use his admin powers to destroy Ondkaja. It was all a big kerfuffle, but in the end, Smira has been allowed, and the rosters are going to be, as you see on your screens in front of you. Do you want to run through the rosters, CommanderX, for those not in the know?
Yeah, bear with me since we're using fake nicks. But, correct me if I'm wrong as we go along. For 1k poops, it's Buttnose and Kaya on Soldier, Hank and Repu on Scout, Smir, Merc and Demo Man, and Hat on Medic. Obviously most of you will recognise Hat. Played in various Prem teams as Soldier and Medic, way back. While on the other side, they're tagged as trying their hardest, that's their current name, but we're going to be calling them Dankest Nugs for tonight, because that name is better. That's going to be Ash on Demo, Sidestep, don't know who the other scout is.
It's Drackk, the other scout is Drackk.
Is Drackk the other scout?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. As far as I know, yeah,
Tom,
I think that's how they play.
Okay, we'll figure it out as we go along. And then Mix on Medic, Tom on Soldier. Who's the other soldier then?
Who's the other soldier? I think they might be using Drackk on Soldier tonight, actually, and Hippokwi, the guy whose name I can never pronounce, and I don't think is actually pronounceable in any language other than perhaps Welsh. It's not possible. So I think it's him and Sidestep on Scout. Normally I do think they use Drackk on Scout, so they're changing up their roster a little bit, but I could be completely wrong. I'm supposed to be playing against these guys in PCWs and stuff like that, but I never paid attention to anybody apart from the Prem teams. So there you go, elitism at its finest. Alive and well within the TF2 community.
TF2 might die, but elitism will never die.
Yeah.
Talk me through, because obviously this game isn't just like a perk cast, it also happens to be an actual game of importance in the high division.
It does. So the current high tables are a bit of a mess. It all really depends on who wins the last game. It literally has come down to the last fixture for a lot of teams for deciding these playoff spots, partly because there's only 4 playoff spots and there's really like 10 teams, maybe more like 8, contending for those 4 spots, and it's going to be incredibly close. I mean, Elo Girls out in the front. There's no way that they can actually lose their playoff spot. Phoenix as well, unlikely to lose their playoff spot because they're predicted to win their next game quite easily against Lutizet. Danger Dogs are coming up against Elo Girls, so given the slight skill disparity between those two teams, it's very possible that Danger Dogs might actually not get any points from that fixture and end up missing out on a playoff spot. Team Infamous are already out because they've received a bye, and that's the maximum amount of points they're going to get all season. So it falls to 1,000 Poops of the Poopocalypse to gain some points in this fixture, overtake some of these teams on 26, 28 points, and really secure a spot in the playoffs. Now, Dankus Nugs as well, sitting on 22 points. If they get 6 points from this fixture, will be boosted up to 28, which doesn't guarantee them a playoff spot, but depending on how other teams do, it could put them in the playoffs. The other teams in contention there, Team Sodium, Pedro Multigaming, but I think most likely it will be Elo Girl, Phoenix, Poops of the Poopocalypse, depending on how this fixture goes, and possibly, I don't even know, Team Sodium possibly, or Pedro Multigaming for that 4th spot, which would be a pity for Danger Dogs to miss out, and Dankus Nugs as well being up there. But it's interesting to look also at the ELO. I don't know whether you've had a look at it, but Dankus Nugs so much further down the ELO than 1,000 Poops, so they have got to be the favourites for this match.
Yeah, as you say that, we are going live. It's going to be Badlands for our first map tonight. We're going to see both teams rolling out. I'm watching Smurb, a Merc Demo Man, go into middle. He's not really done a lot yet, but he's got more health than his other Demo Man, and the rest of his team are coming in now, trying to get forward. But there's not a whole lot of frags going either way right now. It's complete chaos really on the middle. Players behind for both teams. It looks like everyone's going to be cleaned up eventually by 1,000 Poops.
That was really interesting, but a good middle there from 1,000 Poops. Buttnose actually went really huge. I think he picked up 3 frags. Was it on that mid fight? He was doing pretty well.
Correct.
Yeah. So big play from the roaming soldier of Buttnose, the eponymous poop from the 1,000 Poops of the Poopocalypse.
100% pronunciation success rate so far.
It's impossible. I've been drinking Guinness in honour of St. Patrick's Day, and now I'm getting punished for it because I have to pronounce 1,000 Poops of the Poopocalypse every time I want to call a play. Yeah, they're Pocky or how it.
Here come 1,000 Poops. Both scouts through top left. They're going to stack for point as well. They're going to drop, and Sticky's going to be dead. And it looks like actually they try their hardest is going to be able to hold on, but 1,000 Poops are just going to keep throwing their poop at it, trying to muscle their way in. It's just Smur and Hat left, really. Tagged up as Banter Lad, Hat is, for anyone who's confused.
Oh, Smear's in! Smear's in onto the point! Oh, Gen Mix!
The Pyro and Scout both flanked underneath to try and catch them, presuming they would retreat. And Smur and Hat smartly use the W button instead of S. And got a pretty easy cap.
Pushing through that weak flank as they saw the players trying to flank them, and it was a flank on flank, but they managed to flank, and they got the back cap through the flank, so pretty good from them. And we are going to our second mid. It's been convincing so far from 1,000 Poops. Well, we've only seen a few minutes. Who's that juggled miles up in the air? He dies. That's Hapoki. And Sidestep's trying to take a fight that he has no chance of winning either. That's both scouts down from the Dankus Nugs. Drackk bombs in to try and see what he can get done. Finishes off on Kaya, but he's going to go down as well. Genmix put in an impossible situation, not able to survive, and this is going to be another dominating middle for 1,000 Poops of the Poopocalypse. There, that was good pronunciation.
We're getting closer.
It's all in the enunciation. It's you have to really pronounce your P's. Oh, Buttnose is hiding so far down. Buttnose is actually in on last, hiding behind the point, waiting, I imagine, for Genmix to spawn to then get on him. I actually don't like this play. I think this is really bad because if he dies, they're not going to be able to push. Yeah, and they already have a huge advantage. Oh, there we go. It works out.
Absolutely unnecessary play, but it should make this push really, I guess, even more comfortable. Here comes the demo and medic coming in. Nice early Uber. Pyro goes down thanks to Hank, making that a free streak for him now. He's going to focus play down the point as well. Get 2 more frags for Hank, and they're going to sack for Cap as well with Repu. And that's a quick 2-0 for 1k Poops.
Yeah, the problem's really on mid. I mean, you can't fault the Dankus Nugs for their last defenses really when they don't have an Uber. It's difficult to defend Badlands last when you don't have an Uber charge, and you can't find fault with them there. The problem is on these mid fights, and so I am going to be having a look at Ash and the rest of his team as they assail this middle. They've put a lot of damage onto Hank, which is brilliant. Hapoki comes up from the side, takes down Smear. Should have been able to take down Hank there as well, but it doesn't matter because their soldiers are coming in, cleaning up some other frags. Tom with a 2k. Untitled, the only one left alive, and Sideshow and Drackk managed to pick up that frag, but again, Genmix goes down, so not quite as dominating as the previous middles for 1,000 poops, but at least they picked this one up.
It looks really good. Like they keep trying this shithouse push, trying the hardest, but they got a lot better result there. But ondkaja, I think, got a 3k right at the end of that, including Genmix, which really just sort of salvaged it for them. And we're going to see a pretty much equal Uber situation. Saying that, Hat is on crit, so it won't be an equal Uber situation. But Genmix and co will think it's an equal Uber situation.
Yeah, they're going to be holding on that front train, completely vulnerable to the crits creep. Genmix sat completely blind to anybody coming in from choke as well, so crits sticky coming in over that train is just going to obliterate him and whoever he's building with. And they're going to be pushing with it fairly soon because Banter Lad has got his crit streak up and it's on Smear. It's popped off. Can he take anyone down? Picks up the pocket of Drackk, or the roamer actually, and is now trying to get another frag. Sidestep and Tom stand together, and he's trying to get this final frag on Genmix, the only player left alive, sandwiched by so many players. There's no way he's getting out. Got a nice supercell there to actually get his Uber charge, but Buttnose isn't going to let him slip past.
Buttnose left him alive for a while. 20 seconds he got now as soon as Buttnose killed him. Smart sort of little play now from Buttnose just to sort of push the medic spawn back even further. And they might either go for this non-Ubered, but their crits is getting pretty close as well. So either way, all the advantages in favour of 1,000 poops.
Yeah, it's smart decision from Sidestep to build up a sentry because crits doesn't do extra damage to the sentry. I would actually been running a pyro rather than this sniper, though I really dislike the idea to go sniper. I just get proved completely wrong. He picks up the frag on a peeking Buttnose. Yeah, Buttnose hates the idea that they ran the sniper there. They've got the stickies on bottom though, they know exactly what's happening. Ash tries to debt the stickies but doesn't quite get it. Nice aggression from Tom though to take down Smear. That's exactly what they needed. That's the counter to a crit screed. You get in their face, you take down the person who's taking the crits, and easy negation of that crit strategy from the 1,000 poops.
Yeah, much better reaction compared to on middle, where I guess they knew it was a crits this time, so they were able to prepare a little bit better. But on mid, they really didn't react. But right there, they just shut it down completely. We're actually going to see Hank hiding here as Try the Hardest going to go for a push out. They do get one pick. I don't know if anyone's going to see Hank. This is a proper retro hiding spot, isn't it?
I love this spot. I love going in it as a scout with the winger or as a soldier, or you can even get to there as pyro using the detonator. I love that spot.
Oh, he's going to be spotted out. The Uber is forced meanwhile though, and it looks like Drackk is trying to chase down some frags. He gets one and the cap is started. This should be enough for them to secure CP2.
Hat's going to come in with his crits creek. The crits is popped on Smear, but they can't get onto anybody. Drackk doing so well, getting into their faces. The crits has to back off. Hat so far out of there, knew it was going south immediately, and I think we should listen to the Dankest Nugs comms as we push the mid.
Smear.
Okay, going on now. We're in. Bottom right.
On the point. On the point. We got it. Always works.
And they appear to be completely out of sync. So
did you link the wrong channel?
No, I linked the correct chat. Oh, I linked the completely wrong channel. Okay.
Oh,
right. Okay. Let's try that again.
Spoiler alert. Jeez.
Let's listen to the Dankest Nugs comms.
Dankest.
Got spot 660.
Absolutely fucked.
Got 100 on 25.
So does fucked on Belk. He's really weak on Belk. He's out.
Let's go. I'm going trash.
There's something we dropped
Let's
on
scout trash. Oh me.
Got some trash too. Nice.
Dead.
Nice.
There was something dropped
Calm
on
down,
too.
Demo's right, Balk.
Go last.
Only to jump
Try and go.
right.
Oh.
Nice, you got the kept up.
Damn it. It's funny.
Just fully as main still. Fully on left balcony.
Okay. Fuck me.
Back up. Do you want to go bottom right and I'll go sniper?
Yeah.
Double scout some?
Okay. Yeah.
Wait.
Boy.
We got a heavy top left.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, man.
Sticky's top left too.
It's they switched
Heavy.
head soldier off to for heavy.
I'm shooting sickies now.
Okay, I'll stick with.
Can we tell us when it's...
RD.
Go whenever you want.
Okay.
yeah.
Going in now.
Going on now.
We're in. Bottom
Fully
right.
top
on the point.
150.
On the point. We got it. Always works.
What a surprise. I can't believe they took that round. The bottom right strat.
I like that push a lot though, the clearing the stickies off the point, Smur not noticing, and then just stacking it with both scouts. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really nice set play for them to think it out. It's obvious that they've practiced that a few times before and everybody knows exactly what they're doing. But a bit of a misplay by Smir, not really understanding what's going on. But enough of mind butchering. Let's go to our fourth mid. Budno's getting really aggressive, but he's been taken down to very weak health by Drackk, finished off there as well. And this is looking great with some aggression coming out from Tom. Ash picks up the second frag on Hank as well. Everyone's so weak on the Danker Snugs team, but it looks like they are taking control of the point. Can Hat escape? That is the question. Backing out with Smear now at choke, but they're on 90% and it looks like they want to come back in here.
Wrong choke.
Oh, they're at the wrong choke. So that is why they're coming back in. They're actually miles behind the enemy team. They have allowed the Danker Snugs to cap, and now they're in a terrible position. Drackk, sorry, the Dankest Drackk is above them, trying to
he's forced
make a bit of mischief.
Dancing around. He might even pick the Demo Man now as well. Smear just gets back in time,
but Hat has been caught out. And that's unfortunate from their team, taking the enemy train but getting stuck in the choke. And now Genmix has a full uber charge with which to push last. They could be tying this game up very quickly.
Yeah, he's done a good job of holding on to it, even though he's taking some damage there, Genmix. And oh god, he drops! Kaya one rocket around the corner! Just as I was praising him for holding on to the uber.
And Ash is in a vulnerable position as well, and it looks like he wants to push forward. Onkaya picks up the second frag, and he's going to go back in. This is not good here from the Danker Snugs. They had an opportunity to push in, but they're choosing the most closed down entrances. Drackk hiding in main though. Look at this. Oh, he's been spotted.
It was close though, like Hat was about to walk around that corner to meet up with his scout, but I think Hank must have called it in time. And they're just cleaning up for players. All the players hiding for a backup are getting cleaned up here. And it should be a pretty comfortable push out back to CP2 for them. Even though there is now a soldier above him, he's on top of Hat. He will be able to get a couple of rockets off, but Tom can't land the sort of killing blow onto Hat right there. And they should be able to keep rolling this forwards. But there is the Hippokwi sniper to deal with.
There is indeed. Where is he standing? He's on the front train trying to get a peek on choke. Rotating now to the Hoodoo, where he also has a snipe line and he's slightly more safe. He's actually got a better snipe line. I haven't really seen that spot being used very often, but it's a nice one. I quite like that. So it doesn't look like they will catch anybody though, as the team of 1,000 poops is pushing in from that valley. Onkaya goes down really weak, nearly dropped in the Uber charge, but Hat's too good for that. Does Uber, but it is much worse from our red team here, and they still have that sniper to worry about. So Drack's trying to make the most of this, but a great flank from Butno as he came in from house, picks up Ash and Genmix. That's Medic and Demo, your two most valuable targets. Perfect stuff. It's only up to Hippokwi, and he pulls it out the bag. What a headshot coming out of Hippokwi to take down Smirra as he bombs in through the choke point. That is well on the way to saving this push. Hank's going to chase him down though. Can he pick up the glory frag? He can't quite hit the magical miracle shot to take down the scout, but that was a blinder as Smirra jumped in through choke.
Yeah, a bit of a weird sort of Uber from Drackk there. It's like he knew he had more Uber to do with, so he walked through choke, and then it was just an abundance of people to shoot at, and he didn't quite know who to shoot at, and he ended up just wasting his rockets on a scout. And as soon as the Uber faded, they just got absolutely crushed by 1,000 poops.
And Hat is now coming forward with his 50% Uber charge advantage. They're going to be pushing through the resup. They've locked 2 players in spawn already, so that gives them the advantage in the push, but it means that they have to watch out for them flanking and sandwiching them after the Uber charge has faded. Drack's actually going to backspawn, and Sidestep is in lobby, so they don't have to worry about that threat in resup just yet, but it does mean that the entirety of the team is together instead of being separated, so they're all going to fall back to last. They have an Uber advantage. Hatsuba didn't really do much there, but they managed to take control of Spire. So the pressure, the responsibility for the push is now on Genmix and the rest of his team. They have a 70% advantage. It is enough to push out with from Badlands last, but they need to be very careful. Badlands caps so quickly, it's so open to back caps and flanking attempts, and it's very difficult to push out onto that high ground of Spire.
It doesn't look like they're really stacking many people. I mean, Hank down main seems to be the only person sort of committing to the back cap, but they are taking an awful long time with this push. And Hat is only about 25% away, and it looks like they're just going to settle for gaining a bit of ground and move into a forward hold.
Yeah, they're going to hold up a lobby now, which isn't too bad. You're going to get an early Uber charge as they come in through main, hopefully. and then you're going to be able to use your Uber on less to hopefully mop up the frags. So I like this play, but I just wish that they had been a little more ballsy and tried to push out with that 70% advantage. Maybe engineer a pick at the very least, but they were very, very slow. I actually think, though, that leaving a soldier on last while you're doing a forward hold is a misstep here. The drop-down route is very open, just having one scout covering it, and now Tom transitions into holding that drop-down. The hold slightly improved over previously, but it doesn't look like 1000 Poops particularly want to even peek the doors. I think they know exactly what's going on, and they're quite content to hold 2-1.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't mind this decision by Try the Hardest, you know what I mean? There's still plenty of time left on the clock, so you maybe don't need to try the push out if you don't fancy it, if, you know, you got plenty of time to work with still, but it looks like 1000 Poops are happy to just sit on Spire and await
the double
for push.
spy play! The double spy play! Both teams running a spy. Hippocrite's out in resup, cloaked and disguised, and who's the other one? Hank. Hank is... Where is Hank? Hank's on Spire. What on earth is Hank doing on Spire? Alright, I'm going to watch Hippocrite because he's about to get into position, coming around behind Choke.
He's far away though.
He's got the Ambassador and the Cloak and Dagger, I think. He's coming up behind Hat now.
Hat's too good
He's
for that.
completely visible. What was he doing? He was running with the Cloak and Dagger.
He had out of Cloak, yeah.
But why would he not just wait for it to... Why would he not wait for it to charge up? He was running, like, semi-visible, you know?
Yeah, like they show so much patience by just transitioning to a forward hold, and then they
Hank's
lose
going
on
in for
that
the play now, though. Hank's going in for the play. He's running the normal Inviswatch instead of the Cloak and Dagger, which means he only has a limited time to strike. He has uncloaked now. Ash is looking directly at him. Ash surely knows what's going on here. No, he doesn't. He's not. Hank's managed to almost get in without being seen. Hippocrite's playing so passive, though, and so is Genmix right back by the door. Oh, he sees the back of Hippocrite. Is he just going to go for that frag? He does. Oh, he misses the stab. That was nearly a nice double kill. But Hank is just going to trade for that sniper, and the Uber charge is going to come in. Genmix weak does pop off his Uber charge. Slightly better for the Danker Snugs, but they can't chase into upper lobby. This would be a mistake for Drackk to try and push this any further forward than they currently are, and an opportunity here for the repush from 1000 Poops, but they are only 5v6.
Yeah, Hank is coming back on Cypher, and this game is sort of ground to a bit of a halt right now, as neither team wants to overcommit with the point difference so close, and it looks like both teams are going to settle for just building up Uber again.
A bit of spam being traded in upper lobby. Drackk moving a little forward, but Smear knows that he wants to get aggressive, and he's put up a forward sticky trap. I'd like to see a sticky trap from Smear. It's maybe a little bit further forwards, just during that Uber, using the opportunity to put one quite far forwards on one of these further in lips, just to catch someone out if they're getting too aggressive. But Nuz gets a frag on Sidestep down in that bottom right hand side. Sidestep overextending in a position that really shouldn't be, you shouldn't contest the soldier down there, but Sidestep gets baited in, and the Uber charges have been forced on the top left. It's a much worse Uber here for
Genmix
Ondkaja.
doesn't have it yet.
Oh, Genmix doesn't have it.
Kaya's going to pick up two, but he does rotate around, and Genmix will get the Uber out, and it's now a 4v4 situation. They have more Uber, they don't really have a lot to work with, but the scout is harassing them in lobby. They're going to push out on top of that. Tom's getting a lot of work done, but they're going to rotate round to bottom left and just try and force it in. Kaya's going to go from point, has been stickied off as well. A wraparound play from Kaya and Hat, just completely exposing the holes in the try the hardest.
Absolutely. And why didn't Genmix have the Uber charge? I just assumed that he did. When I saw the Uber charges on my hood, I just assumed Genmix had used. But he had not even got it.
The worst part was, I think the rest of his team presumed it was even still as well, because they were all just standing there ready to meet it, and then all of a sudden they've got an Uber and they don't have theirs yet. And it looks like it's going to be another shithouse play right now. Actually, they're going their own side. Both scouts are stacking shithouse. Here comes the aggression. Genmix surfs and will crater though. But the aggression's coming out from Try the Hardest, and they do have much more health and a player advantage as well. They're going to be cleaning up a lot of people. Nice work from Sidestep and Hippocrite on this mid. But Hat has wriggled his way all the way out of there on 30 health.
I don't know how he managed that. Tom went huge and picked up 2 frags. I didn't actually get the credit for the first frag, but did all of the damage in-house. And played really deep, drew a few players back. And then he was so close to chasing Hat out and getting the frag on him. But Hat, just brilliant movement, managed to wiggle away from all of his rockets and escape via resup on 30 health. So great play from him. Probably rescued the mid and the possibly the round for his team here, because they're going to be able to hold choke. They have a 50% advantage, and they're going to want to retake the mid here instead of giving up Spire. Those 2 frags on the flank as well, exactly not what Danker Snugs want in this situation. They're going to have nobody to force. They're going to be able to take mid here without even having to use their Uber charge, the 1000 Poops, and they're going to be rolling onto Spire.
Yeah, frags, their sort of resources wasted on a sort of nothing kind of flank play, and now they're just going to be able to roll forward with his Uber advantage. They can actually Uber out of house, negating the sniper, but Kaya's getting juggled to hell. He's not going to be able to get a lot done, and they even actually drop Hank as it comes through, and then the door opens again, and down goes Hat, and this is an absolute car crash of a push. Great defense. Just one scout and one demo man left. The scout's only on 3 HP, and it looks like Ash wants to try and chase, but he doesn't quite get his jump right. I think Repu just kind of interrupted his trajectory.
Completely dodged the entire Uber charge there, and a brilliant cleanup from Dankus Nugs. We need to see more of that though if they want to be able to bring this back. 10.5 minutes remaining. The score 3-1 in favour of the 1,000 Poops. Both teams running a sniper at the moment. A headshot rings out across the map onto Smire. He has been knocked down, but Hank replies with a headshot onto Hipokwi. That is the sniper, the threat neutralised for the Dankus Nugs. And the Uber charge forced as well. Great play by ondkaja there to be able to force out the Uber, but Hat needs to be able to escape. He's in main, currently trying to juke. He's doing a brilliant job. He's managed to juke all of these. He even managed to juke the melee. Oh my god, Ash absolutely dribbling. Go back to adminning.
Hat's down to 10. Sidestep will eventually finish it, but it took so long. But Spire has been capped in the meantime. That's the important thing for Try the Hardest. It looked like they were taking way too long to kill Hat, if they were going to kill Hat at all. But because they got the Spire in the meantime, and the eventual frag, it's all come up. Dankus Nubs.
It has indeed. I really wanted the fairy tale ending there for Hat. He did so well dodging Ash and everything Ash threw at him. It reminded me of the Numlock Mirrorlin videos.
Cinderella did not get to the ball.
No, unfortunately that scout has to come in and ruin the entire party. Hank's building a sentry in defense here. Actually switches it back off to scout. Now switching to Pyro. Not quite sure what class he wants to play, but I like Pyro. It's a good choice, seeing as they're going to be facing a 20-25% disadvantage. ondkaja getting aggressive in main for no good reason, but trades with Tom. That's not too bad for his team.
It's a kind of nothing trade. Like Kaya might, by the time Uber comes in, Kaya will be pretty close to spawning, and since he's right there at the last point, he'll probably actually be there before Tom is. And the Uber is going to come in right now. It's going to be a soldier and a demo man, but Pyro gets knocked down, so Hank's going to be completely ineffective. But Pyro's coming back up now a little bit too late. He's behind demo man, but he falls down again. Hank will go down eventually, and now they've got all the high ground right now. Drack's going to get 2 fragged. Not a lot of pressure on point right now, and Try the Hardest are taking their time, and Hat is getting awfully close to Uber. Just needs someone to link up with. 98%, he will be able to pop it off in time, but it's only Smir left. He's having his stickies juggled away from point, and there's just a load of people just lurking, waiting to get on that point. But Hank's going to respawn and take down. But Drackk is still in there trying to fight everybody right now, but he's just overwhelmed by people. Gemix is going to be able to fall out, and they will hold on. Gemix even nearly gets a frag.
CommanderX, I don't want to interrupt you, but Sidestep is on Spy. He realised that push was failing, went Spy, and again does that stupid thing where he runs out of cloak and Butno sees him. Oh, the face palms coming out.
Does he know he's running that watch?
I have no idea. I think that was a different guy, wasn't it? Wasn't it someone else last time? Wasn't it Tom or someone? No, it was Hipokwi last time.
Yeah. Well, different. Yeah. Serious watch problems.
Yeah, really bad watch problems from the entirety of the team here, but somehow, while we have been talking about something completely different, the Dankus Nugs have been able to defend the Spire push out from 1,000 Poops, so they will be going forwards here. There is an opportunity for them to push while the players are still a little down. Button's spawning 3, but it doesn't matter. They're waiting for their Uber charge. Genmix gets the Uber. They're transitioning into upper lobby and gonna lead with... no, they're not. They're going bottom right. They changed their mind at the last second. Drackk and Hipokwi through the bottom right. Hipokwi's gonna get on the point, but he realises the stickies. No, he doesn't, but it doesn't matter because the sticky radius has been changed, so they don't even kill him.
Wow.
It's been a while since Smear played.
he's really confused right now. He's angrily looking up stats on Wikipedia now to try and find out why that scout did not die.
3-2, they're bringing it back. It absolutely is. They've got an opportunity here to wrap up the game. If there's a dominant mid, they're looking like a shithouse, but double scouts through shithouse. Risky play, but neither of them takes a big rocket or sticky. Tom getting a lot of room for his team. Hank really weak as well. But it kind of looks like 1,000 Poops are going to be able to mop up this aggression if they get the frag on Ash, which would be key. Yes, it looks like they are in a good position, but the frag's coming out immediately on Banter Lad Hat and his roaming soldier of Buttnose, and suddenly Sidestep and Drackk look like they're going to be able to take this. but Repu picks up Drackk. It's a 1v1 for the final.
He's got the health pack as well.
Oh, he's going to come back into this.
It's an even fight, complete 1v1. Both tanks out down to about half health. The next shot will probably win down to 10 HP on Repu, and he will be taken down by Sidestep. Winning that 1-on-1, but he'll get sniped.
The sniping
Perfect,
sticky coming out from Smir from the choke point. That was a big one, but Smir's now overextended completely way in front of the rest of his team, and none of them can help him as he gets attacked by Tom. Tom takes him down. That's a Demoman advantage for Dankersnugs, and they're going to be able to hold on to this middle and possibly push them. They should really be punishing this overextension by 1000 poops.
Yeah, great damage from Tom there is going to set up this play for them. They just need to go through and get the frags now. One scout's going to go down next. They're going to focus the soldier and the medic at the same time. The soldier's jumping back to try and help, but Repu's there to defend Hat as well. But he's going to be cleaned up. And there's now a soldier behind.
Nice!
He's not hit Gen Mix though at all. But it will slow down this push since they've gotten rid of both scouts.
A nice air shot on Spire there by Ash onto a bombing on Kaya. Big plays from the German Demoman. The Uber's going to be equal. There was a slight advantage in favour of Hat, but there's no way he's going to be pushing out with that, surely. No, they are actually, because they're running crits. So they're going to be pushing into Gen Mix, who pops its Uber charge off. That's surely going to prompt the push from the Dankersnugs into last, but there's crit stiggies everywhere. They don't really feel confident pushing here. This was a great crits play just to force the Uber charge off and not allow them to push in.
They have to push again.
They do, but they have an advantage to push with.
Yeah, they have to push again with the advantage because now they know they're on crit.
Yeah, actually, I think it would have been a brilliant idea for Hat to swap there.
If Hat had swapped, that would have been absolutely perfect because there's only 5 minutes left and they just need to defend now. Like, if they lose a round, they sacrifice potentially points. Tom's going to go down in, I guess, a suicide.
Yeah, I think they should push. I think they should push here. They've got 80% crits. Once they get into a position to actually use it, they'll have half pushed out anyway, and they'll have the crits Krieg. Drackk gets killed in main, so they still have that pick. And now they have the crits Krieg. This is their opportunity. You have to move quickly, Smirre. Go, go, go.
Their main, he's looking for it, but he can't see the medic. He's going to crits anyway. He's just going to try and kill people. He's going to get one soldier. There's now a scout on him. He will get the scout as well. But Genmix has got out and has got himself a hefty Uber advantage, but I think 1000 Poops should be able to get mid as well.
Huge spawns on these players. It was 15-second spawns on all three of those.
Repu's behind Genmix. He's going to force him to pop. They're going to clean up that scout on mid and the other scout as well, but there's a soldier hiding shithouse, I think. And
they know he's there.
They know he's there. Buttnose is now... he's GF. I don't think Buttnose knew they knew he was there, though. No. Buttnose was just waiting for his opportunity. And now we're in that precarious position. Crits advantage for the defending team. Soldier's going to try and challenge for Demoman here, but that could be a mistake. But Onkaya doesn't really commit to it and is able to get out as well. But they lose Hank on the flank. They're trying to push with the crits. They're trying to come out such a narrow corridor. They're trying to block with it, but Smurf stickies won't land. And now there's people behind them as well. Absolute chaos here. They're going to lose a lot of people. Hat and Smurf are still alive, and Smurf might be able to give a medic here if he can get the pipe. Hat's going to kill him, but meanwhile people have just rushed to last and we're going to tie it up.
Yeah, that was an interesting position for 1000 Poops to be in upper lobby, leaving main completely open and bottom left completely open, so just caught in a transitional play and not getting back to the proper positions to be able to defend last with there, and they have lost their opportunity to stay in the lead in this game, and the Dankersnugs have tied it up again, going for this aggressive double scout shithouse strat. Actually Sidestep playing underneath in the valley this time. Drackk bombs over, really aggressive. Tom getting onto Hat as well. 3 players down already for 1000 Poops. Buttnose stunted in midair, completely crippled. Hat trying to back off, still on full health. There is every possibility for him to get out here, and it looks like he will be able to escape with his pocket scout Hank as well. Ash on that Spire. They're going to cap off Spire very quickly, but no Ubercharge advantage for Genmix, even though sometimes when the enemy medic's only escaping with 1 player, they won't quite be able to build properly. If they're backing off with the Demoman, or if they're backing off with the roaming soldier, you know you'll have an Uber advantage. You'll be able to push off it, even when you didn't get that med pick. But in this situation, managed to get out with Hank, which was great because they managed to build up that Uber charge straight away. It's Uber view, but 2 minutes left. This push could well win the game for the Dankersnugs if it's successful, but Tom just goes in straight for the Uber charge. They're playing it quite passive here. They want the force before they push. They know that they only have a limited time left to play with, but if they fail this push, there's every possibility that 1000 Poops will be able to push out.
Kaya's going for it. He's going to try and force, and he does force him all the way back on balcony, but they do lose Repu in the meantime. is going to get Ash down main though, really chaotic here, and this is going to actually, I think, work in favour of 1000 Poops. Genmix is going to go down. They've just completely dismantled this. They've taken the aggression out of try the hardest hands, and they're just going to try and force their way in anyway. Soldiers coming in all over Smur, will trade with Smur there, Tom. Now it's just Repu all of a sudden. Repu will clean up the soldier, but it's respawns.
Yeah,
the
they're
closest
so far
person,
away.
yeah, the closest person is nowhere close in the slightest.
Yeah, the closest two people were Ash and Genmix all the way back at choke. I was going to say that it was a big ask of Repu to defend from 3, but then I realised the position of the players so far away. Repu got away with it there. 52 seconds remaining. There's no chance of 1000 Poops being able to win this game, win this map, sorry. But there is still a chance of the Dankers Nugs taking the full 3 points from this fixture instead of it going to a golden cap. So they are definitely going to be wanting to make this push work. They have an Uber advantage as well. It's 35%.
They're building so hard as well.
Yeah, they
just
really
been
want this.
Constantly with the scout. They're going to have one chance as the Uber advantage push. They're going to go bottom right with the scouts. They're trying to juggle the stickies off a point. Double scout Uber comes in. They're going to run both scouts to point. Someone needs to drop and block it. They all drop to block it. There's still a scout on the point. They get about half capped. They've come in, but they've lost 3 people for this push. And
they need to re-push quickly though. There's only 10 seconds left. They have to go, and Ash runs in, disconnected from the rest of the players, and it looks like we are going to be going to a golden cap, CommanderX.
What a good game they picked for us to cast.
I know, excellent. It's it was pre-planned.
Ash.
Yeah.
Excellent donating and excellent choice of donation perk.
Yeah, he did actually, yeah, good idea. He did actually mention to me that he's been having this sitting around for a while and wanted to use it at the beginning of the season, but they didn't have a close enough game. I think they'd either been playing against people far better than them or teams that they were just rolling. So they thought this was a close one, worthy of casting, and it has turned out so. A golden cap on Badlands, which heralds good things for the next map, Viaduct, as well. Have you got those logs, CommanderX?
Yes, I was just about to say, just going into the last middle, once those shithouse pushes started to work, Tom and Drackk were getting so much work done and just making it absolutely delightful for the rest of their team to just come in and clean it up. And the logs represent that as well. Drackk and Tom, both top of the damage. Followed by Hank, so a big game on Scout there. Then everyone else is sort of just in the midst. I mean, Hat had noticeably less deaths even than Genmix by 6. And that allowed Hat to put out only slightly more heals, but he got a lot more Ubers and crits out particularly. But none of those crits really did an awful lot, so it's kind of, yeah, it doesn't actually make much difference in the grand scheme of things. Yeah,
I think the stats are slightly skewed in terms of overall damage and overall kills because they're heavily favoured towards Buttnose's team, 1000 Poops, but I think that's because the rounds that they won, they were very dominant on. They won the mids, they rolled them all the way to last, they picked up tons of frags, and Dankers Nugs picked up almost none in those rounds. But the 3 rounds that Dankers Nugs won were very close, they were very backwards and forwards, and Dankers Nugs just eventually able to edge them out, possibly just because 1000 Poops not seeming very effective at being able to push out from last. And so that skews the stats slightly in favour of 1000 Poops, just based on the fact that if they won mid, they were then pushing all the way to the last point and almost guaranteed the round. So I do think that this golden cap is going to be very decisive who wins the mid fight.
As well, so you know what's interesting? Just looking at the mids, 1000 Poops won the first 2 mids, and then after that it was all try the hardest, like the next 5.
So do you think? Well. You would imagine that Dankers...
If 1000 Poops need to do something to change up something to counter this Drackk and Tom aggression, because right now all they're doing is seeing them come, not hitting airshots and getting absolutely destroyed by them.
Yeah, so I think 1000 Poops would be good here, bombing 2 soldiers reactively, like doing a valley rollout with their demo man on the balcony, counter jumping onto their train and having it's Smire, he's the demo man, raining down damage on their train as well, just to take down the aggressive scouts and soldiers really quickly. But we have gone live with our golden cap. Enough theory crafting, CommanderX. This decides who takes the most points from this fixture.
Yep, sorry, I'm just reading chat and I'm having it put me off slightly.
They're loving it, aren't they?
I know, Jesus Christ. Here we go on mid. It's going to be that shithouse play again. It looks like Ash trying to spam it up. One soldier goes a lot earlier. Drack's actually staying quite passive, but it still has forced 1000 Poops really defensive and the frags full. And now Hat is trying to wiggle his way out on half health. I think Buttnose is maybe delaying them a bit, and no one is close to Hat. Hat will get out and have that 50% Uber, and Genmix did go down in that in the chaos of mid.
So this was the a great situation for 1,000 Poops to lose a mid in. So it looks like they have no real counter to the mids coming out of Dankus Nugs. However, they're able to keep their medic alive whilst killing a Genmix. Drackk is really far forward here, though. He's going to be able to find ondkaja and Buttnose in lobby, not finding Hat, which he would have preferred. Instead, getting taken down by both of the soldiers.
Yeah, and that's just going to set up. We've seen tryhard do this a few times where they just lose players when they're already at an Uber disadvantage anyway, and it just makes the push so much easier. They're now really pinning all their hopes on just a misread maybe from Hat or something and Ubering early, but they've scoped everything out, they've checked it out, and they're not going to be Ubering for anything. But it has allowed Genmix time to get up his Uber, and we will have an equal Uber situation at choke.
Yes, both of the Ubers in the equation here. They weren't quite quick enough to get onto Genmix, but it's possibly just going to be a bit of a stalemate now. We've seen players bomb in before, so I think that's going to be the strategy of choice here. Either ondkaja or Buttnose bombing in from that choke point to try and get some aggression. No, actually, they're going into house. Double soldier aggression in house is going to pick off Drackk, and Genmix pops. This is terrible. Awful, and he doesn't know what to do. He's just milling around in house, completely lost. Genmix is going to have to back off with the Uber charge, and now a full Uber charge advantage here for Hat and the rest of his team of 1,000 Poops, and they're going to storm forward. They need to pick up these frags, but they need to not overextend. Hat is really disconnected from Smira, who's currently on Spire. He hits a nice sticky there to block HP from really getting onto him.
Yeah, nice work from Spirit. It looked like he was going to get isolated on that Spire, but he hit these shots and he was able to save himself. And now we're going to see a full Uber push to last. They've been pretty clinical with these when they've actually had an opportunity for them. I'm going to come down now. Scouts coming in top left at the exact same time, completely overwhelming them. That's 4 frags already. Just Genmix left. Surely 1,000 Poops are going to take this. And they win the golden cap pretty swiftly. For 1 minute they needed to win the most, they won.
They did. So that is going to be 2 points from the fixture going to 1,000 Poops, and only 1 point going to the Dankus Nugs. So where does that put them on the table? Because that's what really matters here, how it pans out for the for them. So
1,000 Poops are now equal with Danger Dogs and Team Infamous on 26, and Try the Hardest are now 7th.
7th, right?
And on 23 points, and they are now 3 points off the 26 points.
Yeah,
Danger Dogs, Team Infamous, and 1,000 Poops are on.
That's death, I think, for Dankus Nugs. They're not going to be able to get into playoffs. They needed to take all 6 points from this fixture, or at very least 5. I mean, if they'd taken 5 points from the fixture, there was a slight possibility that they might have possibly maybe been able to get the playoffs, but only taking a single point so far from the fixture and a maximum here of 4 is going to mean there really is no hope for their playoff dreams. But the most they can hope to do now is deny 1,000 Poops also from getting that playoff spot by trying to take Viaduct from them. And they will still definitely want to be trying to take Viaduct.
Yeah, not everyone realises that as well as achieving something yourself, it's just as much a sense of satisfaction to ruin someone else achieving something.
Yes, it is.
So, and it's still really all to play for in terms of, self-satisfaction.
Absolutely. And I'm a little worried, really, for 1,000 Poops here, because they were not able to counter that mid-strat at all. And if we see something like that on Viaduct, like a specific strategy that's rolled out from the Dankus Nugs, I really fear for the ability of 1,000 Poops to adapt and properly be able to counter it. For example, if they're running a sniper and 2 scouts, are 1,000 Poops going to be able to properly adjust their gameplay to be able to counter it? Or if they have a really effective roaming soldier, which I think that Dankus Nugs really do, like Drackk and Tom on soldier, probably their 2 best players, and they were putting out some big damage, big frags on the previous map. They could go huge on Viaduct.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I've always been interested to see if any crits come out. Obviously, Smir wasn't so successful with no crits, but I don't know how much he's played recently, so maybe he's starting to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play too much recently. I don't know whether he was in a team before this, but he certainly wasn't in a high-level team. And just from the sticky placement on last, it seems like he's still getting used to playing at the top level.
Yeah.
So if you have just joined us, you have missed map 1. It is a high ETF2L High fixture today. Season 20 powered by TT Esports. We have the second map coming up on Koth Viaduct. It is 1,000 poops of the poopocalypse playing against the dankest nugs. We saw 1,000 poops of the poopocalypse take the... I'm getting better at pronouncing that name. Take the golden cap.
I just avoided it like wildfire. Like...
Taking the golden cap on the previous map, Badlands. And what was the score in the main game? Was that 3-3? 3-3, yes, and then won the golden cap as well. So an incredibly tight game from both teams, really close. And Viaduct promises to be just as close. What do you think predictions-wise? Who do you think... what personal strengths and weaknesses play into this game on Viaduct?
I think most of the time on Viaduct is pretty much scouts rule, really. So whoever has the best scouts invariably wins, or it takes something particularly special for that team not to win. I don't know which scouts are better though, so that's... I'd say maybe Repu and Hank.
Yeah, I don't know whether I could really call it.
Back in Saints, when Hank and Denia used to play together?
Yeah.
They were really potent on Viaduct. So if he can sort of have a similar kind of chemistry with Repu, that could be particularly difficult for Try the Hardest to deal with. But obviously, at the same end, Drackk and Tom have been pretty proficient with their bombs. It's just whether they can translate that into Viaduct. Like we saw a couple of Try the Hardest push-outs were also really defensive, and that will just get you punished on Viaduct.
Yeah, absolutely. They have to know how to play the map, which plays slightly differently from these 5CP maps. Hopefully they will have been playing it more and more recently to practice it in scrims and stuff like that. I'm just interested to have a look and see who these guys played on a previous fixture in Viaduct and see how that went, because that might well be telling. Viaduct is one of those maps, because it plays slightly different, because it's Koth, you can... Some teams are great at it, but some teams absolutely suck. And it looks like 1,000 Poops actually lost their Viaduct game, but put up a good defense against Phoenix Esports, who are currently in the second position. And I think Dankers Nugs actually got a bye for their last game on Viaduct, so they haven't had to play it in an official. Maybe that lack of playing it in an official situation will go badly for them.
Maybe, yeah. It's a bit of a toss-up, really. Try the Hardest with the stronger soldiers, 1,000 Poops with the stronger scouts. The only sort of real, I guess, differing factor is the hat factor. In fact, that hat is ridiculously good at staying alive. Yeah, he absolutely is. He's a brilliant medic and adds so much to the team, I'm sure, in terms of calling as well. I'm looking at ɦążŁųł warming up on Sniper here, and I'm thinking whether I've seen this guy on Sniper before, and I think I have. I think he's pretty decent at it, and I don't know really whether Repu or Hank are going to be able to counter it. I think Hank plays a little bit of Sniper. They might run butt-nose on it as well. I've seen them try that out with 2 scouts and butt-nose on Sniper. So we'll see what happens here in terms of sniping. One other thing, I don't know if Hat still does this, but Hat used to absolutely hate dropping Ubers, especially to a sniper. So if a sniper's got like a line of sight on him, he would just pop, so he didn't drop. I don't know if that's still a thing he does, but if it does, and they run a sniper full time, you could see Hat being forced quite easily, or playing overly defensively. And that could just sort of really throw off their whole play style.
Not willing to take the risk against the sniper. What are your opinions as a top tier medic on snipers and Uber charges? Do you take the risk? Do you play an admirable and just balls deep it through that choke point, or do you try and play defensively?
It depends, because if someone says they're like shooting the sniper or spamming him, I'd always take the risk, you know, unless it's a completely needless risk, you know what I mean? Like, you've got bigger Uber advantage, and you can probably get a good Uber off, and just go for it. But if there's like room to maneuver and they're getting spammed, but outside of that, I'd really say it depends who you're playing against and how confident you feel, like your movement versus their aim.
And possibly Hat has a better advantage than most in that regard. His movement is pretty good. He's one of the best players on the team, but there are a lot of good players on that 1,000 Poops side. The same can be said for the Dankers Nugs as well, but I'm going to be especially watching their soldier combo of Tom and Drackk. I'm interested to see actually whether one of those will off-class to Scout if they run a sniper, because they have been playing Scout at various points throughout the season. Yeah, I know that Tom's a decent Scout as well, so we could see completely different rosters for different rounds. 2 snipers, 3 scouts, a medic, and a demo. And they're going to play 7v6.
Go on, throw me a prediction, Ben. Who will come out trumps?
I reckon the score is going to be 3-2 in favour of the Dankas Nugs. That's my prediction.
I'm going to go 1,000 poops, same scoreline. As we go live, take me through your first middle on Viaduct Sideshow.
I am going to be watching. It looks like HP is running sniper to mid. Default lineup for the 1,000 poops here. I'm going to be having a look at HP as he picks off Hank, sorry. And the aggression coming out of ondkaja and Buttnose. Buttnose gets destroyed there as he tries to go aggressive. HP flies in the air and is going to get taken down as well by ondkaja. But it looks like it's a better situation. Oh no, with that frag there and the overextension from both of the scouts. Tom and Sidestep, this looks like it is a mid for 1,000 poops if they can clean up the few aggressive players still left alive. And with that final death there from Ash, that is the mid for 1,000 poops. It looked like it could have gone either way at multiple points.
Yeah, Kai really capitalised on that early sniper pick, going straight away aggressive onto the enemy's sniper, forcing him to crater and also picking off a weak gem mix. And then try the hardest, they were just kind of out of sync, like all their players were at different stages of being on the remaining 1,000 poop players. So they just ended up kind of going in one at a time, and it just allowed Smur and, was it Repu for Scout, to just clean them up sort of one by one. Now we see a defensive heavy, it's a suicide wave. They're all going to get absolutely mowed down. Does Hat drop?
Yes, Hat dropped, yeah. He goes forward, HP bombs on him at the same time. HP actually switching weirdly. He's playing Soldier now, and he's going to be playing Soldier Sniper, I imagine, for the map. And Tom is going to be playing Scout. So Tom was sat in spawn, building that Uber Charger. HP comes in, syncing up with his other soldier of Drackk there, and drops Hat. Great play by him.
Yeah, that was really interesting. And now they're going to take this sort of pre-Uber advantage in. A lot of it's going to be wasted on the heavy. They will take him down. And there is actually a player behind. Buttno's going to get 2. Both the sniper and the scout going down. So that's going to delay him a lot. Smur is trapped. But it looks like Ash is completely overextended. He's got nice damage onto both of them though, but he's just completely outnumbered. And everyone else from his team is distracted with the players behind, and Drackk will just about defend his medic from a bomb in Buttnose. But here comes Smur, but it's a passive bomb, it's a bite bomb where he just curls off to the side and doesn't really go too far forward.
And Pokri's still running that sniper charge over on the right hand side. He's got a line onto Smir and Hank. Misses the first shot, but he's defended by Sidestep, so he's going to have a bit more room to take another. And that's going to force everyone from 1,000 poops to play a little more passive and bunch up together. He hits a headshot on a standing still Hank. ondkaja goes in for a bomb, counter bomb there. Buttnose takes down the sniper, but ondkaja goes down as well. 2 soldiers for a sniper, not particularly worth it, but the trade for Sidestep and Buttnose, all of these trades favouring the Dankas Nugs here.
Wow, Drackk put so much damage onto Smur, but he got an arrow from Hat just afterwards, and Repu cleaned him up. Drackk unlucky there not to get the pick. And both teams don't have Uber yet. They've just kind of traded point presence, so backing away from the spawn is quite a smart play from Try the Hardest, waiting for their Uber before taking on the spawn way. And now they're going to be walking, but a soldier's going to get straight on top of Genmix. He's going to be forced, and now Ash has got the difficult job, but he does actually force Hat really quickly, so it should be okay for him. He's going to jump as well, and he might even get in a soldier pick as well. But 1,000 poops have maintained control of a point, but they're going to start moving forward now. Buttnose goes down. They do get Thomas in exchange. And now a soldier's going to go aggressive, just trading a frag for a point. The soldier's really weak. Both scouts alive and getting healed by Hat right now, but they're outnumbered. But it looks like we want to try and stay in the fight anyway. We're going to try and focus down the soldier, but it's just too many players. And they do actually get the cap away from 1,000 poops. And now a scout's rushing Hat. Hat's giving him the complete juke. Sidestep goes down. Sidestep just had a complete rush of blood there, went gung-ho for the medic, and everything's stabilised, and both teams are actually getting pretty close to having another Uber again.
Buttnose is in on the sniper and takes down HP, trades for that. Drackk goes down as well. This has left 1,000 poops with the player advantage and the sniper down here for Dankas Nugs. Means they can play a little more relaxed. They can poke these sightlines, they can peek without the threat of the sniper killing them. But a super early spawn here, all the time on the point. Look at the time difference here. 1000 poops with such an advantage. They don't even need to win this fight. They can be quite confident that even if they lose the super for you, but currently on the point, they have 2.5 minutes left. Oh, great pipes coming out of Smear to 2-pipe Ash and take him down. Drackk goes down as well, and the bombing from Buttnose does so much damage. The scout's able to clean up. Full wipe. They're going to be able to cap this off. The point is going to decay, and the first round goes to 1000 poops.
I think this Ɦąřőωπłań sniper is being completely ineffective. Buttnose has just sort of made it his sort of only goal in this game is to just jump on Ɦąřőωπłań and stop him getting sniper shots off.
Yeah, even when Ɦąřőωπłań gets the earlier spawn, he's not hitting enough shots for him to be really effective. Not doing enough damage there. He's still going to run it to this mid, and we'll see who goes first. Buttnose trying to play it down that flank route as ondkaja's there as well. Drackk goes in, but gets taken down. All the frags go into these aggressive soldiers as jen_mix and Ash both taken down by the aggression of Buttnose and ondkaja. Only 2 players left alive. Can Ɦąřőωπłań hit anything this middle? If he can pick up the frag on Hat here, this will be pivotal, but he can't quite. He gets taken down by a huge long distance pipe by Smear, and Hat stays alive. Hat doing such a good job of just staying behind this hill, like blocking the sniper sight line with the rock, and never straying, never peeking.
Yeah, you can still heal both the scout and Smurf from there as well, so it's really just making it really difficult for them. So Ɦąřőωπłań doesn't have a medic to shoot at. And now we're going to see them coming for a suicide wave. Hat is hiding in house, and I don't think anyone can get to him. They're all getting cleaned. The soldier's really weak now. Smurf's going to clean him, and there's one more soldier. Hat's going to surf it away. And Drackk will be killed before he can get any more rockets off. Ineffective suicide wave, but now jen_mix will have an Uber to meet them with. What do you make of suicide wave? Because I think they're a colossal waste of time, like in that sort of that standard of thing. You know what I mean?
If the enemy team's running a heavy and you're going to go in for a suicide wave, I mean, in that situation, perfectly viable because there's nothing else you can do with your time. What else are you going to do? You can try and engineer a pick, I guess. You can go in for frags instead of the suicide onto the medic. Oh, ondkaja goes down, never mind, I'll shut up theory crafting, and we will actually cast what is going on here. A much better repush charge coming out of red team, but they've dropped 2 players, so worse overall. The repush going to come in, and all of these frags here are going to be favouring the Danker Snugs. Why aren't they getting more aggressive? They need to be going in here. Any trades that they get are favouring them with these faster respawns. Hank has managed to flank, and he's getting onto Ash. Ash are down to 7 HP, not getting finished off by anybody here. Smear's backed him into a corner, does eventually hit a pipe. Ɦąřőωπłań's got a frag. He fragged somebody. Excellent work. That's going to help his team out. And it looks like they're actually getting the better end of this. Only ondkaja left alive. Gonna try and fight Sideshow. Doesn't quite get him.
Yeah, it looked like both soldiers, Kaya and Buttnose, are about to absolutely devastate Tryverhardis, but nice surf from jen_mix to take himself to safety, and just left Kaya and Buttnose just with not enough rockets and too many people to shoot at. They're still going to get cleaned up, and now I think we're going to see the reverse situation, where it's 1000 poops attempt at a suicide wave. Here they come, the soldiers starting to fly in, skip jumps going across, but Buttnose doesn't really get very far with them. They're going to try and launch up onto this cliff. None of them get that far, they're all getting denied, but a few people get through. The scout gets behind them, they will pop the Uber off. They do not get any other frags though, which will make it more difficult moving in. They'll have Tryverhardis still going to be at full strength, and it looks like they want to move to a forward hold as well.
Perhaps a weak pop there by jen_mix. He was still on 125 health.
There were 2 people on him, so it was scout behind, soldier
yeah, it's very difficult because if they both hit their shots at the same time, he is dead. But in that situation, maybe a few more balls required. They really need to pull something out to get this done because they're still 40 seconds behind on the timer, and it looks like they're going to lose this next push because they're facing a big Uber advantage from Hat. And Ɦąřőωπłań really needs to hit something here if they want to save this push for their team. Hat has not even been forced yet, and everyone from Danker Snugs is out. They're missing some aggression. They're missing some necessary spam and the ability to force Hat as he comes in.
It's weird, like lots of teams when they play with this one soldier thing, just saying that Ɦąřőωπłań just swapped a soldier for the suicide wave, but with a one soldier thing, the soldier normally still plays as a roaming soldier, and you just have like a scout demo pocket or a scout demo sniper pocket or something. But Drack's playing still as a pocket as the suicide wave comes in. 50 damage onto Hat. The soldiers are still spamming down rockets, but Hat's just going to maneuver himself behind the house, just making it harder and harder, putting so much distance between himself and the suiciding players, and Hat will hold on to his Uber.
Yeah, and Hat playing a much more aggressive medic style. He's He's tanking a bit of damage, gets down to 60 health, he's dodging, he's weaving, he doesn't want to pop off that Uber charge because he knows how much of an advantage it gives them if they actually hold on to it. It's Uber v Uber here. Hank goes down very quickly, that's not going to help because he gets a super long spawn there, 17 seconds. He's going to be up a long time after this push has finished. ondkaja gets domed there, and Buttnose down as well. The Uber charges have been popped. Drackk doing a nice job playing behind, but it doesn't matter because everyone's going to get sandwiched and crushed anywhere. Smear actually bombs in.
Oh my god, Hat.
Oh, I thought he was going to make it. How did Hat get out?
Like,
I just assumed he was dead.
Stickies underneath his feet, so they get decked just before the Uber fades because he's about to walk off the stickies, so he surfs the stickies all the way out to main and just walks away.
Oh my god.
Casual.
He's a god. It's incredible. So he manages to escape from that, and that's going to lead to an equal Ubers. They've got a minute and a half basically just to cap the point. It's looking great here for 1,000 poops.
Yeah, just one successful push is all they need to secure this round. And we're going to start moving in before either team has Uber right now. But they are pushing into the sniper, but they have got players around, and that's the key right now. They're going to try. Ash is going to try and challenge, but he's not got the same support from his team. They're going to go on it, and now they're going to pounce. As soon as they commit to that point, all the players from Try the Hardest pounce on them. They cleaned up a lot of frags, but it goes down to a 3v3, and they lost their medic in the process, and now ondkaja is still behind, and Repu's still moving forward across the point, but Repu maybe shouldn't have taken this fight. He's killed 2 though. Maybe Repu should have taken this fight. He's going to get his free cake stolen by ondkaja. But great work by Repu, and that's going to secure him around 2-0 to the poopocalypse. I can't do it.
Yeah, there we go. So looking very dominant so far as well. I mean, the timer really hasn't ticked past 2 minutes here for Dankersnugs. It looks like they really don't have an answer. Let's have a listen to what they're doing on mid. That is 1,000 poops, not Dankersnugs.
Ska took 60.
I'm down, they have sniper main, sniper main.
Slowly behind.
Ska down.
Right side.
Slowly in tunnel.
Players.
Meds
That was
tunnel.
to
Med down.
Yeah, Hat, where are you?
Right side.
On mid. Look out for the sniper.
Much rush.
The scout was on the left.
Dead.
Oh, sniper.
Where is he?
Right side.
He's far right. Go for him. He's
I'm
on the
sniping.
stairs. Out.
He's
Come
not
down
out.
me.
I didn't even realize I had
He's
one.
dead.
I'm sniping, by the way.
It's free group of people. Come
Scout
top.
right side.
Come top.
Oh, what a great middle from Buttnose. Did you see that 3k?
Yeah,
Wow.
early pick on the scout, followed by, was it a pot for combo, basically?
Yeah, yeah,
now we're actually going to see a really
yeah.
aggressive bomb from Ash. He's going to try and pipe down the demo, but he's overextended there, and Repu's going to clean him up. Repu's going to chase this soldier that's got behind as well, and Drackk is absolutely trapped right now. Smur's going to finish him off. But they do get a trade on Hank on the other side of it, and just making this push a little bit messy for 1,000 poops right now. But they've not actually got any cap time. It's like they're trying to force Hat before he even gets out of spawn. And they're going to go on Smur instead. Smur will be dropped, but Hat is still untouched with his Uber. Really odd play from
Yeah, I don't know.
there.
I don't know what they're trying to do. They have them push back all the way to spawn, and yet they let the timer tick down. So the entire time that push was going on, the entire 30 seconds, it was just favouring 1,000 poops. But Smira getting an incredibly late spawn there as he died, and Buttnose going down in the Uber charge is going to mean that Dankersnugs have an opportunity to take this point. Hat actually gets a frag on Tom and is going to be able to get out here and survive. Again, a masterclass in medic being shown to us there by Hat.
Oh.
And Hippocrate started hitting things now. Smear goes down for the second time this round to the sniper rifle of Hippocrate. And the Uber charge is going to be fairly equal. But this time, it's the Dankersnugs taking down the timer. So they're getting back into this.
Yeah, it's going to be a non-Uber push right now, but they are pushing into Drackk on heavy and Hippocrate on sniper, but that means no soldier whatsoever at all. And they do get the sniper and scout awfully weak, and Smur's going to snipe him off with a sticky. And Buttnose is going to chase the sniper down and should eventually kill him as well. And that's them all gone. And now here comes the bomb from Smur, but they've met the heavy of Drackk right now, and he's going to try and take on everyone, but he's dropped in the Uber. Flashbacks from that golden cap on Badlands right now as Drackk is dropped by Gemman. Now the scout's going to force his way in, but Hat's just given him a complete dupe. The other scout's going to arrive now, Tom trying to get in, but he can't finish anything even as Hat's just pumping heals back into these players. They can't take damage quickly enough. And wow, yeah, just convincing.
Counterfrag coming out onto ondkaja there as he stands still and scratches his head, wondering at his next move. Hippocrate rips his head off his shoulders, Ash bombing in really deep. Gets absolutely no damage on anybody. Drack's in again, not really hitting anyone, and dies through a big air shot there coming out. Or was that a wall shot?
Oh my god,
Either way,
the scout,
impressive.
The scout hits, Tom goes in onto Hat and hits nothing but the last shot. I think Hat had 4 people suicide at him, like actually shooting at him, and took a total of about 75 damage.
That is impressive from the English medic there. However, he still has to dodge a sniper rifle, which is a little bit difficult. ꞪąřŁųł really not choosing some very aggressive angles, just playing quite passively with a sniper. Butnose in with a great force. Actually hits a headshot on him in mid-air as he jumps out of there, but ondkaja is running the heavy weapons man. Incredibly fat, ubered man on the point. And he's going to be able to block this.
But they are surrounded right now. The scout comes in from behind, tries some one-on-ones for heavy. Sidestep smashes Kaya. They now come in on the point, but there's more scouts alive for Hat to heal, and Hank's going to clean up all 3 frags.
On an 8 kill streak at the moment, Hank. Staying alive, getting the frags, doing incredibly well along with ṛepu.
But Drackk with the solo play, they're just out of time right now. Here come the other besides Ash, gets the air shot onto Butnose in the air, but he had too much health and will go down. That is a GG. 3-0 pretty swiftly now to
wow.
poopocalypse.
Absolutely obliterated. I mean, that wasn't even close. Not even slightly. They didn't tick down that much time. I don't know whether they even went under 2 minutes. Not a single round was close between those 2 teams.
Closer, like I think they got it down to 1 minute, but not. Yeah. You know what you were saying before, how some teams just Viaduct is just not a map for them.
Yeah. Seems that way with Dankus Nugs. Let's see if we can grab some logs.
Did you say they had a buy in their previous Viaduct game?
Yeah, they had a buy in the previous Viaduct game, so they didn't have to play it in an official scenario, so maybe they didn't really hone those strategies. They decided to play with a sniper who wasn't very effective. I'm having a look at the logs now, and ɦąřŁųł not quite pulling his weight, really.
11 for 12 on sniper.
Neither was Sidestep, 12 for 12. Compare that to ṛepu and Hank, and they're just doing so much better. I mean, 17 for 5 from ṛepu, only dying 5 times. And Hat only died twice. There were 3 rounds played and he only died twice. It's incredible. That made such a difference when the Uber charges it doesn't look like they're absolutely pivotal on Viaduct. And Hat's only dying twice, which means that the suicide wave's completely ineffective, and their Uber charges, like whenever they had an Uber advantage, which they did a couple of times, completely ineffective.
Yeah, it's always going to be sort of heavily stacked statistics, really. I think the big one you see is they were only 2k damage behind as a team for Dankus Nubs, but they were like a solid 30 frags behind as well. So really not finishing the damage in the same way.
Yeah, they just didn't have that cleanup potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom was a bit of a non-entity on Scout, really.
Well, if you have just joined us, you have missed a very brief and over far too quickly that Viaduct game, and you missed a Badlands where it was incredibly tense, but 1000 Poops eventually came out with the golden cap win. That gives 5 points to 1000 Poops, 1 point to the Dankus Nugs. So having a look at the tables now, refreshing for any results that have just come in as well, and that puts 1000 Poops of the poopocalypse up at 29 points, which basically, I think, gives them a playoff position.
I think Force Kings won as well because they've just jumped up to 27 points as well.
Yeah, so I don't think Force Kings will end up with a playoff position. I would be...
Danger Dogs still have a game, don't they?
Yeah, Danger Dogs still have a game. Might not take any points from it, but Team Sodium and Pedro Multigaming probably will, and if they manage to take all their points, then they'll knock off Force Kings. I don't know, it's still going to be incredibly tight between all of these teams, but what we do know is 1000 Poops, the Poopocalypse, have now moved up into second spot in the high division, so looking good for them. And I'm going to drag some people in for interviews as well. I'm going to grab ondkaja and Hank first off. I think let me see if I can drag them in here. Yes, I can. Let's grab these people. Hello, Hank. Hello, ondkaja.
Hello. Hello.
How are you guys doing? That was a dominating performance on Viaduct.
Everything we did was just outstratting them, and it worked really, really well. But on Badlands we had more problems, and they had really good mids, which we couldn't really counter. But well played to them.
So what was going wrong with those Badlands mids? So they were running an aggressive shithouse strat, and it just seemed like you couldn't counter it at any time.
Yeah, well, basically, it was my fault. I couldn't deny the jumper, and I didn't really know who to focus, the scout or the soldier. So basically I just got ran over on shithouse all the time, and I catched pretty early spam also, so I was down to 40 HP and the start of the mid every time.
You didn't ask me, what is this?
Hello, Ash.
Hello. Sorry, I didn't ask either of your permissions. I just dragged you in here. This is a dictatorship.
Oh,
I
no,
apologize.
I feel offended now.
I apologize, Ash and Drack. I couldn't find you on my Steam friends. For some reason, you're not called Ash, or you're
I'm
offline
called
or
hashtag
something.
not even open.
So, how do you expect me to ask you when your name on Steam does not even resemble your nickname? So
Well, maybe use like nicknames, like the little Steam function that it has since a few years.
I have 5 billion friends. I'm
No,
a
you don't,
popular
you're lying.
guy. How can I keep track of them all? Anyway, we were talking about
friends and no math degrees.
we were talking about your very dominant Badlands middle. So after losing the initial 2, you decided to go with an aggressive shithouse strat, which just worked every time. What was going on there? It was working so well.
I just felt like, I don't know, we tried going under and that didn't really work out, so just tried jumping shit ass, and I realized that Butnose just jumped our train and didn't really, like, we could just clean him up and clean everyone up on slope at the same time. So and then it just went on from there.
Yeah, the main issue like we had initially in those 2 balance middles when we went our side, Butnose completely fucked us up, and we just ran away from Butnose.
Did I just hear that Butnose did actually something good?
Yeah.
That will probably be the first time.
And
Yeah, by
the
just
first
like
middle,
leaving it for the cleanup, we actually just turned that around for us, I guess.
But on Viaduct, it was a completely different story. And in the Golden Cap as well, you guys got Drackk got dropped in that Uber charge to a really nice, actually. It was a really nice double soldier aggression. They buffed 2 soldiers up on Kaya and Butnose, and you both pushed into house on Kaya, and you managed to pick off. I think it was Drackk. It might have been Tom. And unfortunately, Gen Mix Uber charged as well, and that it was just the end of your playoff dreams right there.
I actually don't remember that, but
Well, Drackk went into Haunter just doing soldier stuff, and you guys went in and just crushed them.
I was trying to get a pick in house, and you guys pushed in at the same time.
And he died, and then Jamix Ubered panicky, but Drackk was already dead. Everyone else was like standing on stone, it's like, why did you Uber?
oh yeah, now I remember.
That was pretty awful. I mean.
So what then happened on Viaduct? What were your problems on Viaduct, Ash and Drackk?
I don't know really, we couldn't hit hat, like we just could not hit hat, no matter what we did. Like,
our suicides were fucking awful. Like, I went in first, I didn't see hat 3 out of 4 times, I think. He was hiding behind the fence, hiding in house, just hiding in spawn, and I really had a hard time finding him, and the follow-up soldiers just didn't kill him afterwards.
Do you know how many deaths you had if you looked at the logs?
it was probably like 2 or 3.
It was 2. 2 deaths. There were 3 rounds, multiple attempts on his life, multiple suicides, and he died twice. It was an incredible play by Hat.
One of them was a drop though.
yeah, it was. Yeah. So he's living life on the line. What was it? Just Hat though on Kaya? What was happening with your team?
Basically, me and Hat had really good coordination, and we outstratted them on so many levels. Like everything they did, we shut them down. So that was pretty much.
Yeah, we didn't really get anything done on Viaduct altogether, and it paid off in losing Viaduct 4-0 according to logs.
Yeah, you apparently lost so badly, and that logs invented another round for you to lose by.
Good server. But yeah.
I have a question. On that Badlands, not the Golden Cap, but before the Golden Cap, you guys, try the hardest, had an opportunity to push last with your advantage. Do you regret going for that double scout bottom right thing?
I think what happened there, it was a gimmick flashed both the scouts when he meant to flash one, and I think that would have capped it. I'm not entirely sure.
No, actually, I saw that coming miles ahead.
Oh, right, okay.
I was already shooting the point when.
Oh, it's threaded again?
Before.
Oh, God.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Well,
too many strats.
Yeah. Too many strats, definitely.
We got our strat.
Well, we weren't even trying.
Yeah, we weren't trying. So,
No, we weren't. We are called trying the hardest now, aren't we?
yeah.
So what about your chances at playoffs? Am I right in thinking you had an incredibly slim chance of getting playoffs before this game and they've been scuppered?
I looked at the tables before. I think we had a chance, like if we would have won. But we weren't really aiming for the playoffs.
Just aiming to take it a bit more casual. Try equals no. Try equals later. Try equals season 21.
Yes.
Yeah, so are you guys sticking together? You're going to be playing in season 21?
Well,
yeah,
we'll
we
be
are.
cutting Gen Mix. But yeah, the team will stay together as far as we know currently.
And what about you guys, Thousand Poops? You are going to be moving up to, I think, the second spot in High after that victory, but Phoenix, the current second spot team, and Elo Girl, the current first team, haven't played yet, so that could change. Are you confident in the fact that you've done enough to retain your playoff spot? Are you confident for the playoffs if you get into them?
Yeah, I actually looked at the tables before the playoffs, and I saw that if we got 5 points, that's probably
that's why.
That's probably good enough. But it was kind of disappointed that we didn't get the full 6 points. But if we had gotten 4 points, it would have been a bit harder. At 5 points, we are definitely happy with that.
So 5 is better than 4, but not as good as 6.
Yeah, exactly.
But 5 is only a little bit worse than 6, but it's significantly better than 4 in this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, I've just completely tangential at this point, but have either of you teams played against Team Sodium or Pedro Multigaming? We haven't played against them at all, and I'm interested. Are they going to win their games?
Who are they?
I have no idea.
Team Sodium rings a bell.
Team Sodium is the team with Molesto, Epps, Zesty.
Yeah, we have played them before, at least like once. I remember Molesto.
Good enough to get into playoffs. They're still a contender for the playoff spots.
Are they? What? Actually, they are.
I don't think they'll. Honestly, I think the other teams that are currently in playoffs, that the playoff spots right now are better than Pedro and Team Sodium. That's all it is.
Well, the only reason
That's
Pedro is dead high is the same reason we are dead high, because we both got a bye with 3-6 points at some point mid-season, which helped us a lot getting those sweet placements in the table. But yeah, the current players are like a step above both teams, I think.
So what you're telling me, Ash, is that you fixed the system to give your team an advantage?
Yes.
Good God, there is no end to the hypocrisy and the conspiracy.
Corruption.
Yeah, the corruption is everywhere. You were trying to tell ondkaja to ban
I didn't get
Smira.
paid for it.
You were trying to tell ondkaja to ban Smira.
No, I offered it. No,
It's like a bribe, you know. You offer a bribe, but if you just leave it there, and the other person takes it.
No, originally, I didn't allow Smira, right? That was like my call, and Drackk decided to allow Smira anyway, so I blame Drackk for losing this match to Smira, essentially.
Yeah. This is my fault.
Yeah, how salty are you at Drackk now that he allowed a merc who crushed you?
Incredibly.
Drackk, I love you.
Smear is a nice guy, so I allowed him. And
well, he did just bribe us mini cokes earlier.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's paid off.
Okay, we need to wrap this up as Sideshow has had to leave for food. So, does anyone have any final shout-outs before I wrap this up?
Shout out to Autism Larry.
Kaya?
Shoutouts to alle. There's the demo man in Team Phoenix.
Yeah, I know. We scrimmed them before the official.
Yeah, and I will give shout out to Caps, our roamer in Saints. That's back from Israel. Oh, Israel, Jesus Christ, so fucking from the Jewish. I can't do this anymore. I'm too tired. But yeah, yeah, I will see you next time. Yes, very well. Gute Nacht.
That was
Gute Nacht.
that's off-putting. Ash, anything?
No.
No? Big thank you to Ash, obviously, for donating enough, and for the whole reason this game was casted to begin with. Maybe I'll try and convince Admiral to cast more of the final high fixtures with all these playoffs in mind. Thank you to Sideshow and Suyooo for streaming. Thank you to the teams for turning up, playing some games. Yeah, and thank you guys for watching. Good night.